Dana didn't really bite when Jose Youngs of MMA Fighting asked him whether, in the absence of Khabib, the champion, does Dustin Poirier and Conor McGregor automatically become for a vacant title? He didn't seem to answer that one way or the other. What do you think happens at 155 now? It's a very difficult situation as far as I'm concerned, because you've got the likes of Ferguson coming off a loss, Gaethje coming off a loss, Conor winning his last fight at 170 against Cerrone. You have Michael Chandler, who's never won a fight in the UFC. So, you know, all of these guys obviously are in the conversation, but what do you do?
It's a mess. It's a bit all over the place at the moment. And I think, you know, if there was any talk of Dustin and Conor being at 170 pounds, I think that's out the window now. I think they're going to have to do it at 155 pounds, which is going to piss off both guys. But, like, at the end of the day, there's a world title on the line now, potentially in that fight. I wouldn't be surprised if the UFC make that for the vacant UFC lightweight championship. I think if you look at it from a general level, what's going to make UFC the most money at the moment, Petey? And I think if you're looking at that, you have to include Conor McGregor in the thought process somewhere along the lines here, in consideration with the 155 pound title. Tony Ferguson, another guy that's there. Obviously Justin Gaethje. Obviously Dustin, as we've said there. Michael Chandler. I just think you can cancel out Michael Chandler at the moment. I think, you know, maybe they've thrown him in a little bit too early into that sort of top conversation, because generally, and I'm not criticizing Michael Chandler here, I just think maybe there's even guys outside of the top 3 or 4 guys we're talking about there that are as good, if not better, than Michael Chandler. So I think he's going to have
shade.
He's it is, but it's my opinion, and I think, you know, there is other guys there outside that 3 or 4 that could probably beat him. But, you know, you've Tony Ferguson there as well. Do they throw Dustin Poirier out now and do Tony Ferguson, Conor McGregor? I think that's potentially a bigger fight for the UFC in terms of an attractive audience.
You give Ferguson a title shot coming off a loss?
That's the hard situation we're in now here. What do the UFC do? Do they give Poirier a title shot last year? Justin Gaethje is just coming off a title shot. You know, Ferguson's coming off that loss to Gaethje. It's literally a pick 'em in who they do at the moment. But I think if your terms of money, obviously McGregor's there. And I think next best is probably Tony Ferguson, because there's a lot of sort of hate between those two there as well. You know, Tony used to be under his management company. Tony's often, you know, said that was the reason why they never fought in the past. I don't know. I just think there's a fresh narrative there and something fresh the UFC can attack. But it's literally a toss-up, Petey. But I think if they go ahead and they do Poirier and McGregor, that will be for the vacant lightweight title, in my opinion.
I agree that McGregor, like, just based on being the biggest superstar in the history of the UFC and being a former lightweight champion, probably is the most likely for the UFC to go with. Don't know about logic, but you asked everyone on Saturday, Noel. You said to everyone, what do you think of the future of 155? As you smolder into the camera there, I'll ask you. And then everyone who wrote back saying, I think it'd be a good time to do a tournament, you were like, no, that's out the window. Not a chance. Is this not the most obvious time to do a tournament, when you have no definite people to put in a title fight? That everyone's going to be, this guy or this guy. Some, like, most of them are coming off a loss. Is this not the best time to do a tournament? Regardless of the UFC's history with doing tournaments and not doing tournaments, is this the best time to do one at 155 in terms of everything being all over the place to the top of the division without Khabib?
Yeah, it is. It is the best time, you know, no doubt about that. But I'm thinking in terms of what the promotion have traditionally done in situations like this, they will definitely not do a tournament, in my opinion. And I think the UFC hate doing that, PT, because we've often seen that in case fights fall out. How many times have we seen in Bellator's tournaments in the past? Obviously, they were a tournament promotion, and they've started doing, the odd tournament here and now again, obviously the 145 pound Grand Prix, and so many fights fall off it. The UFC hate that. They will set up a couple of matches and have in their, mind behind closed doors, if this is a quarterfinal, a semi-final or whatnot. They are no way, I guarantee this now, going to come out and say, oh, we're doing, a tournament here. This guy fights this guy, etc., etc. It's not happening. The UFC do not and have never gone by that standpoint, and I don't see them or envisage them doing it ahead of this. Not for 1 second do I believe it's going to be a tournament, because, as I said, the UFC like to have their plans in place there and then before putting them out and maybe risking that all by putting a tournament together.
I just hope they do, so you have to backtrack on all those replies you gave people the other day.
No, listen.
No, mate, shut up, you're wrong.
Well, am I wrong, Pete? Am I wrong? Am I wrong with what we've seen traditionally?
You're right in saying that they haven't done it before, but I mean, I don't know. Like, I mean, of all companies in the world, you can't base anything on what happened with the UFC and what they are likely to do going forward. They're completely unpredictable. And I feel as though Khabib has left them in no man's land at 55.
Yeah.
Henry Cejudo wishes he multiplied his value the way Khabib did when he just retired there, because I can guarantee you that they would do they will at some point in the next year. They are going to make that man a ridiculous offer, because he has been so dominant, man. Every single person, no matter who gets the title shot, no matter who gets the title first after he gets, there will likely be absolutely no argument that Khabib would beat them. He's beaten Conor. He's beaten Gaethje. He's beaten Poirier. Michael Chandler's never fought in the UFC. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, he has obliterated that division. He annihilated it, and he's gone. So I think, unfortunately, for the next person who gets the belt, you're the best of the rest. Yeah. That's what Khabib's done to that division.
Yeah. It's quite frustrating at the moment. Like the UFC, there's a couple of divisions like that. We've obviously, 205 as well. It feels a little bit like, is the champion really the champion? I think that's going to be the case with 55 going forward. But, I do agree with you. I wouldn't be surprised if they come back and make an earth-shattering offer to Khabib Nurmagomedov if he wins. If Conor McGregor, if they do the Poirier fight, because that is the fight I think everyone wants to see. And let's be honest, people gave us a bit of shit last week when we talked about, that not being the best version of Conor McGregor. It clearly wasn't. Let's be honest about it.
Who gave us shit? I didn't see anyone.
There was a few comments on our YouTube channel. And
stop reading them.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not I was, because I want to hear the feedback. But yeah,
I'm not. Well,
but I don't give a fuck. It's my opinion. And listen, we knew even going into that fight that there was a broken toe, and then we obviously the issues outside the cage. So let's be honest, and we're the first people I think in the MMA world to criticize the guy. So maybe we're a little.
Yeah, Conor McGregor said he wasn't.
Yeah.
It was definitely not, his body shape was completely different. Yeah. Ask anyone about that camp if you think we're wrong about that. But who do you favor? Say right in out all the 55ers, you have Ferguson, McGregor, Poirier, Chandler. Who else is there? Gaethje. Who do you favor? If you throw them all in a blender now, who comes out solid?
I want to say one thing, and this is do the UFC though? This is another question. Do the UFC want Conor McGregor as their lightweight world champion again?
Yes.
Maybe. I don't know. I just think it's been such a chore for them to get him in the octagon in the first place. Do they really want that happening down the line again?
Oh, you see, we always get this, and then we get a Cerrone v. McGregor where Dana White looks so happy. He looks like on the verge of complete ecstasy that McGregor is sitting beside him. Or you have McGregor retiring in Iceland, only to come back and do the Nate Diaz rematch. And again, Dana looks like he's after stealing all the elephant's peanuts. And I mean, it's just, at the moment it's tentative, but I guarantee the next time Conor steps in the cage or anywhere near a UFC dais, Dana White's going to be smiling from ear to ear, telling us that he's the greatest fighter who ever lived and the best thing to ever happen to humanity. So
you're probably right. You're probably right
now.
But
who do you think is who's the next 55 champion, Niall McGrath?
Yeah, probably Conor McGregor, in my opinion. I think he beats Dustin Poirier. I'm not going to say easily, but I think he if this fight does come to fruition, I do think it's going to be for the 55-pound title, and I do think he stops Dustin Poirier. And then with Khabib gone, I think that sets up possibly Justin Gaethje or Tony Ferguson. But listen, again, I wouldn't guarantee that fight after the weekend as well. We'll talk about it later on. Obviously, Justin said a couple of things as well to throw his name in the mix if they want to throw out Poirier. And Poirier, to be honest with you, the bad karma he showed Tony Ferguson could come back and bite him in the balls here. So this is going to be very interesting to see what happens there with that. But listen, I'll say that for the moment. I'll say Conor McGregor.
Hello, guys. If you want to hear more of The Bash, you can subscribe to us on all our wonderful channels on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and all that other shit.
And click the links below. Click the links below. The notification button. It comes straight to your phone if we've any fresh content. And also hit the subscribe button. It does help. You're some plonker.
It's very serious.